1861, it was done and done right. Many decades later, in a study completed with aerial surveys and the latest technology, the Army Corps of Engineers could find no improvement to the route as laid out in the middle of the last century. Today, this toll road is still privately owned and mountains landscape that you're viewing.
We are really high up now.
10,000 years in the making.
Above the tree line.
We ask when leaving your vehicle to explore the mountainside,
Wow,
you're
look at
aware
this
that the
rock.
endless vistas are only one of the most obvious wonders. There is an amazing world just under your feet, which, if not cared for, could be lost forever. Never pick up or step on a flower when you're out of your vehicle above in Mount Washington. It's been ongoing for more than 200 years. In the last century, just the novelty of being here was enough to inspire whole books. One famous writer in the mid-1800s, T. Starr King, had this to say about the mountain's various climates.
I send you a greeting this morning from the cupola of New Hampshire. If perchance you are suffering from the heat when this missive reaches you, let your eyes cool themselves by reading that just outside the tip-top house, the mercury is at 34 degrees. The ride from the glen was very easy. We rose indeed by climate as well as ridges. It was July at the base, late September on the ledge, and November at the apex.
Real history was made again in 1899 when a well-known inventor named Freeland O. Stanley drove a road and the age had begun. Even F.E. Stanley himself toured a museum and gift shop downstairs for a look at some rare mementos. Use low gear the whole way down. This will allow the transmission and engine to act as a brake and help maintain a slow speed. Remember, low gear is usually indicated by a 1 or an L or L1 on your shifter. Second, don't ride your brakes. A pumping action of the foot pedal allows the brakes to run cooler than does just a steady pressure. And never use water to cool your brakes. If they begin to fade, stop at the next pullout and allow them to cool while you enjoy the view. If you're in the fog, please turn on your headlights and remember cars heading down should yield the right-of-way to the cars on their way up. You may have seen hikers while you're on the summit. Some are day hikers, climbing the mountains or traversing the Presidential Range by any of the miles of trails that crisscross the slopes. Many begin from the Appalachian Mountain Club's headquarters just south of here in Pinkham Notch. Visible just above the AMC base camp is Tuckerman Ravine, famed for the challenging spring skiing. But skiing in this ravine is not for the faint of heart or casual skier. They refer to Mount Washington, a sacred place where the Great Spirit lived. So rumor has it that they never climbed the mountain. This entire region was home to great numbers of Native Americans prior to the arrival of European ships and people. But times have begun to change as sparsely populated coastal communities of colonists continued to move inland. One of these early settlers was named Darby Field. After seeing the shining summit from a ship off the coast of Maine, he set out in search of his fortune, enlisting 2 Native American guides. The world above tree line is your world now, and through your care, its rarity will be preserved for the next time that you come, or for all those who come after. Now that you've seen the Alpine Zone, you can understand why we are so dedicated to its conservation. To your left, you'll see the Great Gulf Wilderness. This is a glacial cirque of more than 5,500 acres that was officially designated a wilderness area in 1964. This wilderness designation is especially important in that it protects a vast area from any form of man's intrusions. No timber harvesting, mining, or buildings of any kind are allowed. With the exception of a few hiking trails, only the forces of nature are at work in the Great Gulf.
That's the sign.
Though it is unmarked today, the halfway point used to be a stopover on this road for the
pylon.
first 50
You can
years
walk
of its
up there with the pylon.
It wasn't 12 that the first gas-powered
this side is
vehicles
no
took
good.
over the
Why
job
you parking?
carrying guests. Motorsports events in America took place right here when the Climb to the Clouds race was held on the very road you're now driving. Mount Washington was a test track of sorts because
Wow,
if a
look
car
at the
could prove itself
cloud.
on these unforgiving slopes, it could work anywhere. Many traditional thinkers were not ready to acknowledge the worth of these mechanical contraptions. There's a statewide newspaper, the Manchester Union Leader, wrote,
The
Completely
whole
in the
thing is an
cloud.
unmitigated nuisance. The lives and property of perfectly helpless people have been menaced for no reason than to provide amusement for total strangers. Some drivers can be trusted. Most cannot. If these people think of coming up another year, let them stay in jail a couple of days, and everyone will be the better for it.
As you drive along in your vehicle today, try to imagine these two scenes in your mind.
Wow, completely
See the
can
early
see
cars with their
nothing.
15 horsepower
Look at
engines
our
straining
road
to
here.
make the grade, and then the other extreme, the high-powered race cars of today that climb to speeds of more than
look at that
100
body.
miles an hour.
Observation
on the
is
same
up
turns
there.
as
We
you
are getting
negotiate
there.
right now. Throughout history, the most daring of racers have always tried to capture the speed record on Mount Washington, where horse-drawn wagons took 3 to 4 hours to make the
Oh,
ascent.
the train track. Line of hiker walk along the train
Recent
track
racers
up
have
here.
shaved the time to well under 7 minutes, though they don't take in much of the scenery.
Wow.
If it has been a clear and sunny day for you here today, consider yourself lucky. The weather on Mount Washington is generally more interesting than that, though. It's not that the weather can change quickly here, it's that the mountain seems to generate its own. Undercast develops where a blanket of clouds
look
shroud
at
the
that.
lowland and the summits of the taller mountains in the presidential range.
Yeah, there's a letter go to the
Sea of
summit.
white.
That's the summit over there. Everybody go there, take pictures. That's the train. We have to wait is too. This is Washington Summit. feet. Tallest in New Hampshire, taller point here. Summit. So the museum. This This is the bunk bed. The people, those time they live here.
Yep.
Wow. It is more cleaner here. I'll take this one, you say. Just donate a little. Okay, we try help. Let's go.
Yep. 1853.
I'm ready to look for a job here.
I'll take you. You're gonna be getting on the train here in about 5 minutes.
From 1930 to 1937, the Mount Washington Observatory was operated in the summer stage office, then occupying this site. In the Great Storm, April 12, 1934, the cruise instruments measure a wind velocity of 231 miles per hour right here. And we are going back down to our car. Slowly, carefully.
It's a time of unimaginable
Just
beauty.
to make sure you stay
In
on the
fact,
line.
on part of the road known as the
Slowly,
Cragway,
slowly.
20 or more feet of
That's
snow
the key.
accumulate each winter.
Still got car coming up,
The days of
even
heavy
in this kind of
equipment,
condition.
pure manpower
Motorcycle
opened
too.
drifted parts of the road. As the tourist season are yours for
Not even the road here.
This, above all, is the glory of Mount Washington, and it gives absolutely anyone at any age a chance to sit with friends and family, get some perspective on the
Slowly.
world we live in from a place unlike any other, to perhaps members of your own family. Enjoy the rest of your day and your visit to the White Mountains. Visit us again sometime for another drive in your own vehicle, or take a guided tour of one of our stages. When you reach the bottom, come across the street. Take advantage of services at the Glen House base area. The Glenview Cafe has a spectacular view of the mountain we've just climbed and serves homemade soups, sandwiches, and other goodies. The Red Barn Museum features horse-drawn and automotive stages on display, as well as historical memorabilia and a slideshow and video, all for free. To continue your day of enjoyment and adventure, you can take in these magnificent surroundings in a
This is dangerous crowd. When we are in summer with this kind of car up there, it's not funny.
Enjoy biking for the whole family on wide, gentle sloping trails, an indoor climbing wall, easy walks on rolling paths, a picnic in a field of wildflowers, or just plain relaxing with unbelievable views. The Great Glen Trails Outdoor Center has this.
Slowly, okay.
A full schedule of summer and winter programs is always planned at Great Glen. For example, spend the afternoon on a guided kayak or canoe trip on the Androscoggin River, or even more adventure, take a whole day to explore the natural wonders of the Lake Onega Wildlife Refuge while paddling with one of our guides. Also, stop in our outfitter shop and get prepared for your own outdoor fun. Besides bike rentals, you'll find a wide selection of items from sunglasses and postcards to high-tech outerwear, biking and paddling accessories. And the best part is you're already here. Simply come
Look at
across
the
the street
cloud.
to the base lodge, and you'll find the Great Glen Trails Outdoor Center. Remember, in the wintertime, those same great trails make the best cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. Looking more information. Well, that's about it. If you're not at the base area, you will be soon. We hope you've enjoyed your adventure above treeline. And thank you again for journeying with us today on our road to the sky.
Calling very scary storm cloud.
Wind, cold, and
if you're in the summer or higher level, that is very
Continuing upward, you
scary,
are entering a height of no more than
we almost finished. Almost go back to the entrance
600 miles.
of our auto road experience.
This is further exemplified
Check.
by the
Climb up 6,280 feet. Tallest mountain in New Hampshire without car.
Just think, in the distance of just a few miles upward,